For a long time, it was held that the Neanderthals were stupid, primitive subhumans, shambling, lacking symbolism. Turns out that that's not true at all. Certain populations in the world today still have 3 to 5% of Neanderthal DNA.
Tucked away in the rugged terrains of the Altai Mountains, where the borders of Russia, China, Mongolia and Kazakhstan meet, lies a fascinating piece of history that has captured the imaginations of archaeologists and historians alike: the Denisova Cave.
This is an issue that I go into in America before. And what first drew me into it was Denisova Cave in Siberia.
This isn't just any cave, it's a treasure trove of human evolution, nestled in an area known for its breathtaking biodiversity and complex geological history. The mountains themselves are alive with a rich variety of plants and animals, setting the perfect backdrop for a story that's as much about the natural world as it is about our ancient ancestors.
I think everybody's heard of the Neanderthals, and these days I think everybody's heard of the Denisovans as well.
The story of Denisova Cave began to unfold in the 1970s, when Soviet scientists first explored its depths. At that time, their eyes were set on unraveling the geological and paleontological mysteries of the region, largely overlooking the cave's potential to unlock secrets of our past. It's named after Denis, an 18th century hermit who once called the cave home, adding a touch of human history to its ancient walls. With its intricate network of chambers and galleries, the cave hinted at stories of long-term habitation by early humans, waiting just beneath the surface to be discovered. But it wasn't until 2008 that the cave truly stepped into the spotlight, thanks to the discovery of a small finger bone.
In Russia, in Denisova Cave, they find a single pinky bone from a little finger. And what they discover is, this isn't a Neanderthal, this isn't an anatomically modern human being, this is another human species.
This wasn't just any bone, it belonged to the Denisovans, an ancient group of hominins previously unknown to science. Suddenly, the world was paying attention, eager to learn more about these mysterious inhabitants. The cave, with its rich layers of history buried within, revealed that it had been a bustling crossroads for different groups over tens of thousands of years. What's particularly intriguing about the Denisova Cave is not just its archaeological wealth, but also its location. Nestled in a remote part of the Altai Mountains, reaching it is no small feat. The harsh climatic conditions add an extra layer of challenge for those daring enough to explore its secrets. Yet it's precisely these obstacles that make the cave so alluring to researchers from across the globe. Every expedition brings us closer to understanding not just the Denisovans, but the broader narrative of human history. Imagine stumbling upon a piece of the puzzle that is human history, hidden away in the depths of Siberia's Denisova Cave. The Denisovans are a bit of a mystery, genetically distinct from both modern humans and Neanderthals. Their DNA tells us they branched off from Neanderthals around 400,000 years ago, enriching the narrative of the Pleistocene era's human saga. But when it comes to what they looked like, we're mostly in the dark. Our clues? Just a finger bone, a few teeth, and a piece of skull. Though these fragments are robust, they hint at Denisovans being well equipped for surviving the tough Pleistocene Asia. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The Denisovans didn't just keep to themselves, they left a mark on us modern humans. Certain groups today, especially in Asia and Oceania, carry Denisovan DNA. For instance, the indigenous people of Melanesia, including Papua New Guineans, have about 5% of their DNA from Denisovans. This reveals a history of ancient interbreeding that is more complex and common than we ever imagined.
Anatomically modern humans interbred with Neanderthals. You can't interbreed with another species. They clearly were human beings.
Denisovans mixed not just with modern humans, but also Neanderthals and possibly another yet unidentified ancient human group. But what about their way of life? The Denisova Cave has given us a glimpse, yielding sophisticated tools, a bone needle, and even jewelry. These finds suggest a culture and level of sophistication that challenges our understanding of archaic humans. Their discovery of the Denisovans has been a game-changer in evolutionary biology, painting a picture of our past that's far more intricate than previously thought. It's not just about who we are, but who we're connected to, revealing a web of interactions among ancient human species across Eurasia. Yet, for all we've learned, the Denisovans remain shrouded in mystery. With each fossil fragment and DNA sequence, scientists are slowly piecing together the jigsaw of our ancient past. The Denisovan genome in particular continues to be a treasure trove of information, promising to unlock even more secrets as research progresses. This story is far from over. It's an ongoing journey of discovery into who we are and where we come from. Siberia's Yakutia region, known for its jaw-dropping temperature extremes, is home to a place as intriguing as its ominous name suggests: the Valley of Death. Tucked away in the northeastern part of Siberia, in the Sakha Republic, this valley is not just a testament to nature's extremes but also a canvas for mysteries that boggle the mind. What sets this valley apart are the curious metallic structures scattered across its landscape. Picture this: dome-like formations and metal objects, some peeking out of the earth as if partially buried treasures, all wrapped in a mystery. Are they ancient artifacts, remnants of meteorite impacts, or something else? The truth is, we're still scratching our heads trying to figure it out. Getting to the Valley of Death is an adventure in itself. It's remote, wildly inhospitable, and the weather swings from scorching summers to winters that would give even the hardiest explorer pause. This makes studying those mysterious structures all the more challenging. Local folklore adds layers of intrigue to the valley. The Yakut people have tales that could make your hair stand on end, associating the valley and its metallic mysteries with danger and otherworldly energies. According to legend, these structures could wield unknown powers, causing illness or worse to those who dare too close. While these stories add to the valley's mystique, they remain unverified whispers of the past. Scientists, on their part, have theories that could explain the existence of these structures. Some suggest they might be the aftermath of meteorite impacts, pointing to Siberia's history with celestial events like the famous Tunguska explosion. Others speculate they could be the work of ancient humans or a civilization lost to time, leaving behind these puzzling artifacts. But here's the rub. Actually exploring this area is incredibly tough. The extreme climate, the area's seclusion, and the sheer lack of infrastructure make sustained research difficult. This scarcity of empirical data means much about the Valley of Death remains a tantalizing mystery. This shroud of mystery isn't just a magnet for scientists. Historians, paranormal enthusiasts, and even adventurous tourists are drawn to its secrets. The allure of uncovering more about Siberia's ancient past and its uncharted territories is irresistible. As technology and exploration methods improve, who knows what secrets we'll unearth from the Valley of Death. Until then, it remains one of Siberia's most captivating enigmas. A place where history, legend, and science converge in the most mysterious of dances. Let's dive into one of Siberia's most mind-boggling mysteries, the Tunguska event of 1908. Imagine a blast so powerful it flattens 80 million trees over an area of 2,150 square kilometers. That's exactly what happened near the Podkamenaya Tunguska River in central Siberia on June 30th, 1908. This wasn't just any old explosion, it was roughly 1,000 times mightier than the Hiroshima atomic bomb. The shockwaves from this colossal blast were felt up to 2,000 kilometers away. People at the time reported seeing a bright blue light, almost like a second sun, followed by a series of booms that were strong enough to knock folks off their feet and shatter windows hundreds of kilometers away. Fast forward to 1927, and enter Leonid Kulik, a Russian mineralogist who was the first to scientifically investigate the site. Kulik was expecting to find a meteorite crater, but was met instead with a sea of flattened trees, splayed out from a central point, like the spokes of a wheel with not a crater in sight. The most accepted theory: a small asteroid or comet fragment burst through the atmosphere, exploding 5 to 10 kilometers above ground with the force of 10-15 megatons of TNT. But as with all good mysteries, there are other angles. Everything from a natural gas explosion from the Earth's belly to wilder notions like antimatter or even a mini black hole having a run-in with our planet. The aftermath of this explosion wasn't just a big patch of knocked-down trees, it had a significant environmental punch, boosting tree growth in the area and reportedly causing genetic mutations in plants and animals. Likely thanks to the extreme heat and shockwave, it even had a hand in global atmospheric changes, like the creation of night-shining clouds and a dip in atmospheric transparency across Europe and Asia. But here's where it gets even juicier. The Tunguska event has been a hotbed for conspiracy theories and wild speculation. From alien spacecraft crashes to top-secret weapon tests, the event's mysterious nature has sparked imaginations worldwide. Despite decades of research and countless theories, the Tunguska event remains one of the 20th century's most tantalizing unsolved mysteries. It's a real-life sci-fi story, set in the remote Siberian wilderness, that continues to intrigue and puzzle us to this day.
Nobody builds something that big underground just for fun. You don't do that unless you have to.
Right.
You don't burrow like a human ant nest.
Yeah. Human beings are so weird in so many ways.
Yes.
The story of the Longyu Caves discovery begins quite unassumingly with Wu Anai, a local farmer in the small village of Xianbeikun in Zhejiang province, China. This region, picturesque with its lush landscapes and traditional farming, was not known for archaeological treasures.
It's really important to understand that archaeology is often driven by accidental finds.
However, the persistent issue of a village pond that wouldn't dry up, despite extensive efforts to pump it for irrigation, piqued the curiosity of Wu and his neighbors. Determined to find the reason, they funded the use of rudimentary pumps, and after 17 days and over 20,000 cubic meters of water pumped out, they uncovered what appeared to be a man-made cavern entrance, revealing the first of the Longyu Caves, later dubbed Cave 1.
Someone made it, and it involved a very large amount of organized labor. There had to be the will and the intent in order to do that.
This cave, an architectural wonder with exquisite hand-chiseled carvings, stairways and sturdy columns, was just the beginning. Word of this remarkable find spread rapidly across the region, capturing the imaginations of both the public and the academic world. The discovery was so stirring because of its unexpected nature and the sheer magnitude of the caves. Motivated by the initial find, the local community continued to fund the exploration, and by the end of 1992, 4 more caves had been identified.
There's a bunch of these things. There's a bunch of things like that. They're just like,
Each cave was unique in design and hinted at a sophisticated yet mysterious civilization that had left no other record behind. Recognizing the potential historical and cultural significance of these caves, the Chinese government quickly stepped in. They took measures to protect the site and supported further scientific studies to explore these enigmatic structures more thoroughly. This governmental intervention mirrored the actions taken after other major archaeological discoveries in China, such as the Terracotta Army, uncovered by local farmers in Shaanxi in 1974.
It's a wonderful mystery, and it deserves much further attention.
Both the Longyu Caves and the Terracotta Army were stumbled upon by locals engaged in ordinary tasks, yet these finds were anything but ordinary. The Terracotta Army, part of Emperor Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum, features thousands of life-sized statues, each detailed with unique facial expressions and attire, clearly a tribute to the emperor's military forces. In contrast, the Longyu Caves, with their vast underground spaces expertly carved from solid rock, offer no such clues about their creators or their purpose, remaining shrouded in mystery.
We are just, I think, looking at the edges of a mystery. The archaeologists involved feel the same.
These discoveries significantly shifted our understanding of their respective eras. The Terracotta Army provided a window into the military aesthetics and rituals of the Qin dynasty, while the Longyu Caves have puzzled historians due to their lack of any historical documentation. Both sites have undergone intense scholarly scrutiny and ongoing research, as experts from around the world try to uncover the secrets they hold and the stories they might tell about the ancient peoples of China. these caves were cleverly concealed by the mountainous landscape and dense vegetation, which likely played a role in keeping them hidden for centuries. The region's rocky terrain further protected these man-made wonders from natural erosive forces, preserving their pristine condition through the ages. Advancements in technology have significantly aided in the exploration and mapping of these caves. Techniques such as laser scanning and ground-penetrating radar have been crucial in providing detailed information about the cave's dimensions and layout. Initially, surveys indicated that the caves covered an area of approximately 30,000 square meters, but ongoing exploration might extend this figure as more sections are discovered. The architectural consistency observed across the Longyou caves is truly remarkable. Despite varying sizes and designs, each cave exhibits uniform craftsmanship with flat bases for pillars and symmetrical spacing of architectural elements. This uniformity suggests they were likely constructed under the centralized direction of a single authoritative entity, possibly a local ruler or a unified government during that era. The choice of siltstone for construction, a material easier to carve than granite or basalt, allowed for the creation of smooth walls and intricate carvings, showcasing an advanced understanding of material properties and structural engineering. This is evident in the high ceilings supported by massive stone pillars designed to distribute weight evenly throughout the caverns. The caves are not only a feat of engineering but also of artistry. The internal structures include complex water channels that likely serve to prevent flooding and maintain a stable internal environment, alongside ornate gutters and meticulously carved bridges that enhance both the functionality and aesthetics of these spaces. The scale of excavation involved is staggering, with an estimated 1 million cubic meters of rock removed using basic iron or bronze tools. This massive endeavor would have required thousands of laborers over several decades, if not centuries, highlighting the significant human effort and organization required. Detailed examinations of the tool marks and techniques on the cave walls offer archaeologists valuable insights into the technological capabilities of the time. Furthermore, carbon dating of some cave sections indicates their construction dates back to at least the Eastern Zhou dynasty, over 2,000 years ago. This ancient origin adds to the mystery and allure of the caves. The Longyou caves, with their vast chambers and no historical records to explain their construction, have sparked a plethora of theories about their original purpose. One popular theory is that the caves were used as ancient storage silos. Researchers supporting this idea point to the stable temperature and humidity levels inside the caves, conditions ideal for storing perishables. The interior layout, featuring platforms and ledges, seems perfect for organizing goods, while the intricate water management systems might have been designed to control moisture levels, ensuring that stored items remained preserved. Another theory suggests that these caves served as royal tombs or burial sites for nobility. This wouldn't be out of place in ancient traditions worldwide, where elaborate resting places were often constructed for the elite. The extensive labor and detailed craftsmanship involved in creating the Longyou caves imply they were built for significant individuals. However, the complete absence of artifacts or human remains commonly found in other tombs casts doubt on this theory. Some believe the caves had a religious or ceremonial purpose, considering how their secluded and quiet interiors would be suitable for spiritual activities. This aligns with the global historical trend of using caves for such purposes. The uniform design and orientation of the caves could suggest they were specifically planned for processions or religious ceremonies, although the lack of religious symbols or artifacts challenges this theory. A more practical perspective is that the caves were quarries. The theory posits that the caves were originally mined for stone, used in early Chinese imperial construction projects, though it doesn't account for why the stone wasn't used in any known structures nearby. Lastly, a more speculative idea is that the caves functioned as ancient astronomical observatories. Some suggest that the orientation of tunnels and openings within the caves aligns with specific celestial events, much like other historic astronomical sites.
But what's fascinating about them is this very powerful geometry and astronomy.
This would imply a sophisticated understanding of the stars by the creators of the Longyou caves, though hard evidence for this theory is still lacking. When we compare the architectural marvels of the Longyou caves in China with Petra in Jordan, also known as the Rose City, we dive into a fascinating study of ancient ingenuity and artistic mastery. Petra's structures are famously carved into the blush-colored sandstone cliffs, reflecting the elaborate and ornate aesthetic of the Nabateans around the 5th century BCE. Its most iconic structure, the treasury, is a perfect example of this, with a facade that is both monumental and intricately detailed, highlighting the peak of Nabatean craftsmanship. In contrast, the Longyou Caves are sculpted from siltstone, a material that presents different challenges and opportunities for the carvers. The finer grain of siltstone allowed ancient workers to achieve smooth finishes and sharp details in the cave walls and columns, offering a different kind of beauty from Petra's elaborate sandstone carvings. Unlike Petra's diverse architectural purposes, the Longyou Caves exhibit a uniform design across all the caverns, suggesting they were built with a singular purpose or design philosophy in mind. Both Petra and the Longyou were lost to the world until their relatively recent rediscovery. Petra was brought back into the public consciousness in 1812 by Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, and since then it has reshaped much of our understanding of Middle Eastern history. Despite the grandeur and historical significance of both sites, they share a profound mystery: the absence of detailed historical records explaining their construction. While Petra does have some inscriptions and texts that offer minimal insights, the Longyou Caves are surrounded by complete silence in historical records, with no writings found to date that reference their creation. This lack of documentation has left historians and archaeologists piecing together clues and forming theories that range from practical to speculative in an effort to understand these magnificent constructions.
These caves are incredible. I don't even want to call them caves because it's called the Barabar Caves, but these things are not caves. Does that look like a cave to anyone?
That looks
No.
like the entrance to a spaceship. That's
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's like a
Right.
single granite
Vein.
One
vein.
huge piece.
Deep in the heart of India, shrouded in the mists of ancient history, lies a marvel of engineering and artistry that continues to baffle and amaze. The Barabar Caves, a series of rock-cut chambers carved into the granite hills of Bihar, India, the oldest rock-carved caves that exists to date. What secrets do they hold? How were they built? And what purpose did they serve? Could humans really have created this ancient wonder? The Barabar Caves, discovered in the early 19th century, are believed to be the oldest surviving examples of rock-cut architecture in India, dating back to the 3rd century BC. They were commissioned by Ashoka the Great, the Mauryan emperor who famously converted to Buddhism after the bloody Kalinga War. These caves were meant to serve as retreats for monks and ascetics seeking spiritual enlightenment. What is immediately striking about the Barabar Caves is the sheer precision and polish of their construction. The walls and ceilings are so smooth, they seem almost mirrored. The interiors are devoid of any ornamentation, emphasizing their austere and contemplative purpose. Even today, after more than 2 millennia, the echo of a whisper reverberates through these chambers, creating an ethereal atmosphere. The most iconic of the Barabar Caves is the Lomas Rishi Cave, distinguished by its unique horseshoe-shaped entrance, reminiscent of the Chaitya halls of later Buddhist architecture. The interior is a single spacious chamber with a vaulted ceiling, culminating in a stupa-like projection at the far end. The acoustics within the Lomas Rishi Cave are extraordinary, creating a sense of otherworldly resonance that amplifies even the slightest sound. But how were these caves built? The technology available at the time was rudimentary, consisting mainly of iron chisels and hammers. Carving into the hard granite would have been an arduous and time-consuming task. Yet, the sheer scale and precision of the Barabar Caves suggest a level of mastery that seems almost impossible for the time. Some scholars theorize that the Mauryans might have employed advanced techniques, perhaps even using fire to weaken the rock before chiseling. Others speculate that they might have had access to specialized tools or knowledge that has since been lost. The mystery of their construction only adds to the allure of the Barabar Caves. The Barabar Caves are not just architectural marvels, they are also repositories of history. Inscriptions found within the caves provide valuable insights into the Mauryan era, including Ashoka's edicts promoting peace and non-violence. These inscriptions show Ashoka's profound transformation from a ruthless conqueror to a benevolent ruler, a transformation that reverberated throughout the Indian subcontinent. But the Barabar Caves also raise intriguing questions. Why did Ashoka choose this particular location? Was it for its strategic importance, its natural beauty, or its spiritual significance? The story of the Barabar Caves is far from over. These ancient marvels hold more than just questions of technique and purpose. As we dig deeper into the mystery, we find that the caves are connected to a broader network of ancient secrets, some hiding in plain sight, others concealed beneath the surface of history. The Barabar Caves, it seems, are just the beginning. Let's turn our attention to the staggering amount of stone that was removed to create these caves. Carving out even one of these chambers would have required moving hundreds of tons of solid granite. While this might seem difficult enough today, with cranes and modern machinery, imagine doing it over 2,000 years ago with only basic tools. Experts estimate that the volume of rock removed from the Barabar and Nagarjuni caves combined is equivalent to the construction of an entire modern skyscraper. The caves aren't just hollow spaces, they are carefully engineered cavities with perfectly smooth walls and astonishing acoustic properties. This raises the question, were these caves intended for something far more complex than simple meditation? If we step outside the narrow confines of traditional archaeology, a number of unconventional theories begin to emerge. One of the most compelling is the possibility that these caves were not simply religious sanctuaries, but sites for ancient experiments with sound and resonance. Sound, after all, was a powerful force in many ancient cultures, believed to be a tool for healing, communication, and even construction. Could the Barabar Caves have been designed to amplify certain frequencies, perhaps to aid in meditation or to access hidden states of consciousness? Some researchers propose that the unique sound dynamics within the caves were not accidental, but were the result of advanced knowledge of acoustics, knowledge that may have been lost to time. When comparing Barabar to other ancient acoustic marvels, such as the Hypogeum of Saflieni in Malta, where low-frequency sounds resonate powerfully within the subterranean chambers, the similarities are striking. In both cases, the structures amplify sound in ways that seem unnatural. Could there have been an ancient global understanding of sound technology that allowed different cultures to manipulate their environments for spiritual or scientific purposes? But even more provocative is the idea that the Barabar Caves and the surrounding region could have been used for something much more practical. Some conspiracy theorists have speculated that these caves were not spiritual retreats, but part of a network of sites dedicated to early technological experiments, possibly in metallurgy or energy generation. Ancient India was known for its early advances in metallurgy, particularly with the discovery of Wootz steel, a high-carbon alloy that later became famous as Damascus steel. Could it be that the Barabar region, rich in iron ore, served as a hidden laboratory where ancient metallurgists conducted experiments in the production of alloys, harnessing the natural acoustic properties of the caves for unknown purposes? There's also the curious question of why the Ajivikas, a relatively obscure religious group, would commission such monumental works. Ajivikas were known for their strict ascetic practices, rejecting material wealth and worldly possessions. So why would they need such massive, intricately designed caves? Could it be that the caves had a dual purpose, both spiritual and scientific? Some researchers have suggested that the caves may have served as a place where spiritual leaders and early scientists exchanged ideas, blurring the line between religious meditation and scientific experimentation. This theory gains traction when we look at other caves and rock-cut structures in the region, like the Udayagiri and Khandagiri caves in Odisha, carved around the same time as Barabar. While Udayagiri and Khandagiri served more as monastic retreats for Jain monks, the designs are remarkably intricate, featuring tiered halls and passageways that hint at more than just religious devotion. Could these sites have been part of a larger network of spiritual and scientific centers stretching across ancient India? There is a growing belief that these cave complexes were not isolated projects, but rather the work of a sophisticated civilization with knowledge that extended beyond the spiritual into fields like geometry, engineering, and metallurgy. Looking westward, comparisons with the Ajanta and Ellora caves in Maharashtra become even more intriguing. Unlike Barabar, the Ellora complex contains vast temple structures, including the breathtaking Kailasa Temple, which was carved from a single piece of rock. What ties these sites together is the sheer scale of excavation. While Barabar focuses on precision and acoustic properties, Ellora and Ajanta showcase the massive scale and intricacy of rock-cut architecture. The fact that both were created around the same time period raises questions. Were these part of a grander pan-Indian tradition of rock-cut engineering that blended religion with early scientific understanding? Could the same knowledge have flowed between these centers, each site fulfilling different roles in a complex network of spiritual, technological, and social life? There are also strange connections to be made when examining other rock-carved sites across the world. For instance, Petra, the ancient Nabatean city in Jordan, shares some remarkable similarities with Barabar. Both were carved into solid rock, both involved an unimaginable amount of labor, and both exhibit architectural features far ahead of their time. Petra, with its elaborate facades and hidden tombs, and Barabar, with its smooth chambers and enigmatic acoustics, may have been created for vastly different purposes, yet the precision and effort involved suggest that the people who built them shared a deep understanding of stoneworking and engineering. While mainstream historians argue that these similarities are coincidental, the evidence is difficult to ignore. Were these sites merely the result of isolated advances in technology, or were ancient cultures more connected than we realize, sharing techniques and knowledge across vast distances? Then there's the question of why these caves are located where they are. The Barabar caves are situated near Gaya, a place of immense spiritual significance in India. Gaya is not only home to the famous Bodh Gaya, where Buddha is said to have attained enlightenment, but the region itself is dotted with caves, temples, and religious sites. Could there be something about the land itself, something about the energy of the place, that made it a focal point for spiritual leaders and scientists alike?
In the heart of central Turkey's Cappadocia region lies a secret buried deep beneath the earth. A secret that has baffled historians and ignited the imaginations of conspiracy theorists worldwide. The subterranean city of Derinkuyu is a marvel of ancient engineering, a sprawling underground metropolis that plunges over 280 feet into the ground. How did ancient people construct such an extensive network of tunnels and chambers without modern technology? What mysteries lurk in the shadows of this underground labyrinth? The tale of Derinkuyu's discovery is as intriguing as the city itself. In 1963, a local man in the town of Derinkuyu decided to renovate his house. As he knocked down a wall in his basement, he stumbled upon a hidden room. This room led to another and another, unveiling a complex network that extended far beyond his property. Little did he know that his simple home improvement project would unearth a city capable of sheltering an estimated 20,000 people. Explorations revealed a sophisticated structure spanning 18 levels underground. Each level served a specific purpose. There were living quarters, kitchens equipped with stone ovens, wineries, chapels adorned with religious symbols, and even schools where children could learn. Stables housed livestock, and communal areas allowed for social gatherings. Massive circular stone doors, some weighing up to 1,000 pounds, could seal off each level, providing security against intruders. Ventilation shafts, some extending all the way to the surface, ensured a steady supply of fresh air, while wells provided clean water. The city's design reflects an advanced understanding of architecture and urban planning. To unearth history is to peel back the layers of time, remarked an archaeologist involved in the excavation. The more we learn about Derinkuyu, the more questions arise. Who were the people that built this underground city, and what drove them to live beneath the earth? Some historians believe that the Phrygians, an ancient Indo-European people, began the construction around the 8th century BCE. Others argue that the Hittites, or perhaps even earlier civilizations, laid the foundations. One prevalent theory is that Derinkuyu was expanded during the Byzantine era, serving as a refuge for Christian communities fleeing persecution from invading forces such as the Arabs during the 7th century Arab-Byzantine Wars, which were from 780 CE to 1180 CE. The underground city provided a secure haven where entire populations could live undetected for months at a time. The intricate network of passages and rooms allowed for a self-sustaining environment, complete with food storage facilities and clandestine escape routes. The very existence of Derinkuyu challenges our perceptions of ancient societies. How could people without modern tools carve out such an extensive underground network in relatively soft volcanic rock? The answer lies in the region's geology. The tough rock formations are malleable yet durable once exposed to air, making them ideal for carving. Over generations, the inhabitants expanded the city, adding new chambers and passageways as needed. However, not everyone is satisfied with conventional explanations. Some suggest that Derinkuyu is evidence of lost advanced civilizations or even extraterrestrial intervention. The precise engineering, the scale of the city, and the mysterious origins fuel speculation. Could it be that the underground city was built to survive a cataclysmic event, such as a flood or nuclear disaster? This ties into fringe theories about ancient civilizations possessing technology far beyond what mainstream history acknowledges. A popular conspiracy theory links Derinkuyu to the ancient Anunnaki, deities from Mesopotamian mythology who some believe were alien beings that influenced early human civilizations. Proponents of this theory argue that the underground city was constructed under their guidance to protect humanity from disasters or as part of a mining operation for precious metals. While there is no archaeological evidence to support these claims, they add an element of intrigue to the already fascinating story of Derinkuyu. To put the scale of Derinkuyu into perspective, consider that it rivals modern subterranean structures like the London Underground or New York City's subway system, not in technological complexity, but in scope and purpose. Yet, while today's underground networks are built with advanced machinery and engineering knowledge, Derinkuyu was carved by hand, illuminated by oil lamps, and planned with remarkable foresight. Nearby, the Cappadocia region offers additional wonders. The underground city of Kaimakli, just a few miles away, is connected to Derinkuyu by a tunnel system stretching over 5 miles. Kaimakli is equally impressive, with its own maze of rooms and passages. Together, these underground cities suggest a vast network of subterranean communities that cooperated and communicated with each other. The region is also famous for its fairy chimneys, towering rock formations that have been hollowed out to create homes, monasteries, and hotels, further showcasing the ingenuity of the area's ancient inhabitants. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it, wrote philosopher George Santayana. Derinkuyu stands as a testament to human adaptability and the lengths to which people will go to ensure their survival. The city's defenses indicate a need for protection, possibly from frequent invasions or natural disasters. The ability to retreat underground would have provided a strategic advantage, allowing inhabitants to avoid conflict and preserve their way of life. Modern research suggests that Derinkuyu was not just a refuge, but also a thriving community during times of peace. The presence of religious spaces indicates the practice of faith was integral to daily life. The discovery of artifacts such as tools, pottery, and even graves provides insight into the culture and customs of its residents. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Derinkuyu, we must consider both the rational explanations and the more speculative theories. While it's tempting to attribute the city's construction to lost technologies or extraterrestrial influence, the evidence points to human ingenuity and the resourcefulness of ancient societies. The collaboration required to build and maintain such a city reflects a strong communal bond and shared purpose. The story of Derinkuyu is still unfolding. New discoveries continue to emerge as archaeologists explore the depths of the city. Advances in technology, such as ground-penetrating radar, may reveal even more about the extent of the underground networks in Cappadocia. Each new finding brings us closer to understanding the lives of those who carved out a world beneath the surface. In conclusion, the underground city of Derinkuyu invites us to question what we think we know about history. It stands as a monument to human resilience, creativity, and the relentless pursuit of safety and community. Whether viewed through the lens of history, archaeology, or even conspiracy, Derinkuyu captivates our imagination and reminds us that beneath the surface, both literally and figuratively, there is always more to discover. If you enjoyed our content today, then check out our video on megalithic H structures discovered in Bolivia.
High in the Andes, where the air is thin and the sun fierce, lies a place that has haunted the dreams of explorers and archaeologists for centuries. Tiwanaku, Puma Punku, names that whisper of a lost civilization, a forgotten technology, a mystery etched in stone. The stones themselves speak of a power beyond our comprehension. Massive blocks, some weighing hundreds of tons, cut with laser-like precision, interlocked with a sophistication that defies explanation. Who were these master builders who moved mountains of stone with seeming ease, who aligned their monuments with the stars and then vanished, leaving behind only questions? Join us as we journey to the Altiplano to unlock the secrets of Tiwanaku and Puma Punku and confront the enigma of a civilization that may rewrite the very history of mankind.
Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this Earth?
Strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. That there should be an area as big as that unexplored. So there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Antarctica, the most mysterious and untouched continent on Earth, has long held secrets beneath its thick layers of ice. Recent discoveries have ignited imaginations worldwide, with rumors of ancient civilizations and even extinct human species perfectly preserved in the icy wilderness. In the stark white expanse of Antarctica, a shocking splash of crimson stands out against the Taylor Glacier, known as Blood Falls. Discovered in 1911 by Australian geologist Griffith Taylor during the British Antarctic expedition led by Robert Falcon Scott, this bizarre natural phenomenon immediately puzzled scientists. The sight of blood-red water flowing from the glacier's terminus was initially thought to be caused by algae, but further investigation revealed a far more complex and ancient story. The Blood Falls caves are not typical open-air caves, but rather a network of subglacial channels and cavities filled with iron-rich brine. These channels, estimated to be over 1.5 million years old, are among the oldest known systems of their kind on Earth. The water that seeps from these caves has been trapped and isolated from the Earth's atmosphere for millions of years. The vivid red hue that gives Blood Falls its name is due to the iron in the water oxidizing when it makes contact with air, a process akin to rusting. This discovery has provided scientists with a unique window into ancient environmental conditions and the extreme forms of life that can thrive in such harsh environments. The true nature of Blood Falls remained elusive until the late 20th and early 21st centuries, when advancements in scientific technology allowed for a deeper exploration of the subglacial environment. In 2009, a pivotal breakthrough was made by a team led by Jill McCookie, a Harvard University microbiologist. Utilizing sophisticated imaging and sampling techniques, the team drilled through the ice to access the brine. What they found was nothing short of extraordinary, a complex ecosystem of extremophiles, microorganisms thriving in extreme conditions, surviving by metabolizing iron and sulfur compounds in the oxygen-starved icy waters. The discovery of this ancient ecosystem is groundbreaking, as it potentially offers a glimpse into what life on Earth may have looked like millions of years ago. The microorganisms found in the Blood Falls caves are ancient and have evolved in isolation, surviving in complete darkness, with no sunlight and minimal nutrients. This discovery has vast implications, particularly for astrobiology, as it suggests that similar life forms could exist in the icy moons of our solar system, such as Europa or Enceladus. The brine's red color resulting from iron oxidation also indicates that these subglacial waters are rich in chemical energy, enough to sustain life in one of the harshest environments on the planet. The exact size of the Blood Falls caves and channels is difficult to determine due to their subglacial nature and inaccessibility. However, the visible portion of Blood Falls, where the red water emerges, is about 30 feet high, roughly the height of a 3-story building. This is just the tip of the iceberg, literally, suggesting that the channels and caves beneath the ice could extend for miles, forming a vast, ancient network that remains largely unexplored. Transitioning from the isolated iron-rich brine of Blood Falls, we move to another extraordinary Antarctic cave, Leviathan Cave, a place steeped in both mystery and danger. Tucked away near the Shackleton Range in Antarctica, Leviathan Cave is a testament to the untamed and mysterious nature of the continent. Its name, inspired by the biblical sea monster Leviathan, is fitting given the cave's imposing and enigmatic presence. The exact details surrounding its discovery are somewhat murky, as many early Antarctic expeditions were poorly documented, but it is believed to have been first explored in the 1970s by a team of geologists and explorers surveying the Shackleton Range. Leviathan Cave stands out due to its intricate ice formations and its location in one of the most remote and inhospitable regions on Earth. Unlike the subglacial Blood Falls caves, Leviathan Cave is part of a larger system of ice caves and tunnels that remain largely unexplored. Scientists estimate that this cave system is several 100,000 years old, formed by the slow, relentless movement of ice over millennia. The age of the cave was determined through a combination of geological surveys and ice core sampling, revealing its long history and the processes that have shaped it. The exploration of Leviathan Cave was part of a broader effort to understand the ice dynamics in the Shackleton Range. The team of explorers who stumbled upon it were captivated by the cave's stunning and unique ice formations. These include massive stalactites and stalagmites made entirely of ice, formed by the slow freezing of water droplets in the cave's frigid environment. The intricate patterns and sheer size of these formations give the cave an almost cathedral-like appearance, inspiring awe and reverence among those who have seen them. Leviathan Cave is renowned for these ice formations, which are unlike anything found elsewhere in Antarctica. The conditions within the cave are so extreme that the water droplets suspended in the air slowly freeze over centuries, building up to form massive icicles that hang from the ceiling and rise from the floor. The cave's remote location, deep within the Shackleton Range, makes it one of the most inaccessible and least explored caves in the world. This isolation has preserved its pristine environment, making it a prime location for future scientific discoveries. Researchers believe that studying Leviathan Cave could provide valuable insights into the geological history of Antarctica and the processes that have shaped its landscape. Leviathan Cave is a large and expansive system, though its full extent remains unknown due to the challenges of exploration. Some estimates suggest that the cave could extend for several miles beneath the ice, making it one of the largest ice caves in Antarctica. To put its size into perspective, the cave could be likened to a vast underground cathedral, with towering ice columns and chambers large enough to hold entire buildings. This comparison underscores the sheer scale and majesty of Leviathan Cave, a place where nature's artistry is on full display. As we leave behind the majestic frozen chambers of Leviathan Cave, our journey through Antarctica's most mysterious caves takes us to the depths of Lake Vostok, a place where science and speculation intertwine. Subglacial Lake Vostok is perhaps one of the most enigmatic and significant discoveries in Antarctica. Buried under nearly 2.5 miles of ice, this ancient lake has captured the imagination of scientists and explorers alike. Its existence was first detected in the 1970s by Soviet scientists conducting radar surveys of the Antarctic ice sheet. However, it wasn't until the 1990s that the true nature of Lake Vostok and its associated caves became clear, revealing a hidden world beneath the ice. The discovery of Lake Vostok and its subglacial caves was a major scientific breakthrough. This lake is the largest of Antarctica's known subglacial lakes, and the caves and channels connected to it form a vast interconnected system beneath the ice. These caves are filled with water that has been isolated from the surface for millions of years, creating an environment that is both unique and pristine. The lake itself is believed to be between 15 and 25 million years old, making it one of the oldest and most stable bodies of water on Earth. Lake Vostok was first identified as a large subglacial lake by Russian scientists during radar surveys in the 1970s, but its significance wasn't fully understood until the 1990s, when more advanced technologies confirmed the existence of a vast liquid lake beneath the ice. The exploration of Lake Vostok and its caves has been one of the most challenging scientific endeavors in recent history. The immense depth of the ice, combined with the need to avoid contaminating the pristine environment, has required the development of new drilling technologies and remote sensing techniques. The water in Lake Vostok and its connected caves has been isolated from the atmosphere for millions of years, creating an environment that is like no other on Earth. This isolation has led scientists to speculate that the caves could harbor entirely new forms of life, possibly unlike anything known to science. The discovery of ancient microorganisms in this environment could offer insights into how life might survive in extreme conditions, both on Earth and potentially on other planets. The scientific and logistical challenges of drilling into Lake Vostok and its caves have been immense, but the potential rewards are equally great, offering a glimpse into a world that has remained untouched for millions of years.